Okay. Verse 20, one should not rejoice in obtaining what is pleasant, nor sorrow on obtaining what is unpleasant. He who is thus firm of understanding and unbewildered, such a knower of God is established in God. Shri Krishna explains in this verse that the first thing needed to attain the vision of Samadarshi, seeing with the equal eye, is asamuraha, meaning choicelessness. One should not rejoice in obtaining what is pleasant, nor sorrow on obtaining what is unpleasant. Verse 20. What is pleasant? Commentators say that something is pleasant because the senses like it. The majority of people run after what the senses like. They run after what looks good to the senses and run away from what the senses do not like. One who is free from duality becomes firm of understanding. Shri Krishna mentions 3 states in this verse: becoming firm of understanding, being unbewildered, and being a knower of God. We have looked at being firm in understanding when we discussed Samkhya Yoga in the 2nd chapter. Sthitaprajna means someone whose intellect has become steady. It was just beautifully described what the characteristics of a Sthitaprajna are. One of these is that all doubts go away. While there are doubts in the mind, then his mind will be like a flame ever moving in the room with wind on it. This is where bewilderment comes from. Should I or should I not? To be or not to be? So many people are in a state of to be or not to be, or yes or no. Bhagavati Kumar Sharma has written a very beautiful ghazal of yes and no. Shri Krishna then says that such a knower of God is established in God. It's not really important what you choose, it is important whether you choose. Do you choose? And while there's a choice, then it could be anything. Some people say they only choose the right things, but it was good to them. If you say that what you have chosen is good, then you're saying that what everyone else does is wrong. This partition has been made. The desires and dualities appear. The mind will then want to run after that which looks good over and over again. It will also want to push away that which looks bad over and over again. This right and wrong leads to great unsteadiness in a human being's life. While there is unsteadiness in someone's life, then it cannot become established in Brahman. Why do dualities make a person dance? Desires pull us towards things. Things that are dear to us pull us towards them. Things that are not dear to us push us away from them. It creates unsteadiness. One who wishes to see Brahman in everyone must be beyond dualities. He must be beyond what is dear to him and what is not dear to him. The difference goes away, and it only goes away when one has a state of choicelessness. One must accept the things that he has. Buddhism uses the words tataha, meaning suchness, to describe this state. You accept it. If something is sweet or salty, then you don't have a complaint against it. If a chili is hot, then you don't have a complaint against it. If pickle is sour, you don't have a complaint against it. If haldir is astringent and plain, you don't have a complaint against it. They are like that. Accept it. At the most, what you can do is take as much as you like out of all of them to make the nicest dal. Then you have one taste where you say, wow. Do something that will lead to this state. Accept it. If someone complains that something is sweet, and then that thing is always going to be like that. As chili is always going to be pungent. When a human being learns to accept life, then he becomes beyond duality. Just like you accept objects, learn to accept people. Here, someone that is dear to you and someone that is not dear to you are both the same. A person can be dear to me and another person can be not dear to me. If this is the case, then both of them create a turbulence inside you. One should not have that. One should have peace. Some commentators say that something is dear to you because the senses like it, where other commentators say that something is dear to you because other people say it is good, and therefore the person runs after it, and something is not dear to you, it's because other people say it and is not good, and a person runs away from it. There's a great difference between the two. The deciding factor in the first is yourself, and the second deciding factor in the second is the world. This is the wrong situation to be in. If you run after something that you like, then you may get peace because you have got it. From that peace, turbulence is born because you just want more and more and more and always feel incomplete. This will be there. But when you run after this something that other people describe as good, then on many occasions, a person can run after something he doesn't like. It is just because people call it good. The person loses his control over himself and it becomes like a puppet dancing according to the strings in the hands of people pulling the strings all over his body. He keeps thinking about what other people will think. He loses the power to think for himself. How can such a person move forward? He loses his steadiness because he slips outside of himself and just goes what other people think with his mind. His state becomes that of other people and not of Brahman. This is because he'll just run after whatever other people say is good. But when he has Brahmacity, then he is steady in the self. Secondly, what happens is that when these dualities arise, and when someone runs after something that's dear to him, then he forms an attachment towards that thing. This does not let a human being become Sabadarshi, seeing with the equal eye. That is why scriptures say that the second quality is detachment. Just like the scriptures say to be free from dualities, they say to be detached. Shri Krishna describes what detachment is in the next verse.